Have you ever stood in front of a canvas, brush in hand, palette full of vibrant colors, and wondered, where do I even start? The age-old paradox of the blank canvas. I mean, think about it. It can be both exhilarating and yet paralyzing at the same time. It's pretty fascinating to think about it, right? The way we feel can be so easily related to something as basic, yet as intricate as a color. Today, we're going to paint. And not with watercolors, not with chalk, and not even with crayons. But we're going to paint with our emotions. And guess what? It is stunning. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. Imagine for a moment that each emotion you experience is a specific color. Blues for sadness, perhaps. Reds for passion and love. Yellow for joy. Green for envy, so on and so forth. Now, just as an artist mixes primary colors to create an entire spectrum, we too mix our basic emotions to experience a plethora of our feelings. What happens when you blend happiness with a smidge of nostalgia? Well, you get that golden amber of contentment, perhaps a shade that we might call memory-laced joy. Or what happens when you swirl some excitement into a pot of nervousness? I have a name for that one. That's the orange hue of anticipation. I mean, it's pretty incredible how one primary emotion can bleed into another, right? Have you ever thought about how emotions, how they mix and how they interact with each other, right? Creating something completely new, yet equally genuine. Have you ever stopped to consider what your emotional color palette actually looks like? Do you have more cooler tones, or are they warmer? Are there colors you gravitate towards, more or less? Are there emotions you find yourself feeling on a regular basis? You see, just as with painting, balance is key. Too much of one color, and you risk losing the intricate nuances of the portrait that you're painting. And yes, balance, easier said than done, right? So it's like, how do we find it? How do we find this balance? How do we even recognize if we're using too much of one color or not enough? Well, the first step, like an artist appraising their palette, is to recognize and to actually validate every emotion that you hold. This is really hard, right? Sometimes we don't want to do this. But have you ever noticed how dismissing an emotion, say masking your sadness with like forced laughter, how this just feels like you're ignoring a vital color? You end up with a painting that seems incomplete, or worse, dishonest. Now, what if I told you that the canvas in front of you is not just a piece of cloth, but it's a metaphor for the landscape of your emotions? And that brush, the brush that's in your hand, it's your thoughts, it's your actions, it's how you choose to interact with the world and yourself. And this palette, this wheel of color, that's the most intriguing part, in my opinion, because that's your emotional spectrum, the rich, varied, sometimes messy range of feelings that make you, well, that make you you. Now, think about the colors that are lacking, or maybe are excessively dominating your emotional canvas. Are there shades that you've neglected? Emotions you haven't allowed yourself to feel? Or perhaps you're overwhelmed by a single hue, a single color. Say the bruising blue of sadness, or the angerness of red. Each day is a new opportunity to paint, to feel, to live. And each emotion, no matter its color, no matter its hue, it's a color worth painting. Every moment presents a new opportunity to pick up that brush and adjust your strokes. Blend in a new color and even start anew. It's okay. And with that vibrant thought, I want to close the lid on our palettes for today. I want to wash our brushes and look forward to the next blank canvas, the next emotional landscape awaiting your artistic touch. I'm Chad Lawson, wishing you all the hues of happiness, peace, and self-love. Thank you for joining me on this colorful journey of emotional discovery. Stay true, stay you, and until next time, be kind to your mind.